In today's video, I'm going to give you a behind the scenes look at my studio, as well as at all the equipment I use to make my YouTube videos, as well as my headshots and portraits. What's up everyone, Pete Coco here. Thanks for joining me as always. So let's get right into it. The camera that I use mainly in my studio as of the making of this video in 2023 is this Fujifilm X-T5. Now I've been using the X-T5 as my primary studio camera since December, and I use two main lenses with the camera. The lens I use by and far the most is this lens, which is the 16-55 f2.8 Fujifilm, and I love this lens. This is one of the best Fuji lenses that they've ever made. It's a little heavy, so that's the only trade-off. I mean, I don't really care in the studio, but it's not that big, but it's a little heavy, but it's a straight 2.8 lens, 16-55. So at the telephoto end, it's about an 80mm equivalent, and I use this pretty much for all my headshot work now, and I love it. And I use it for a lot of my portrait work too. But the lens that I really love using for my sort of dramatic portraits is the 35 f1.4, and this is the original 35-1.4, which is the much loved or hated. People kind of go either way on this lens. I love this lens. I find it to be a really beautiful quality, and I like the look it gives me for my portraits. And what I'll do with this lens a lot is get close to my subject. So this is about a 50mm equivalent, and people don't realize that a 50mm lens, if you get very close to someone, you are going to get distortion. Even a 50mm lens will give you some distortion. And I like that look in my portrait work, so I'll purposely get close to people with this lens so I get a little bit of distortion. I think it adds to the drama and the interest of the image. So that's something I do quite a bit. This camera I've been using, basically, I'll use it to record a lot of videos too, but it's also my primary studio camera and my primary do everything camera right now. Now you may, if you're astute, you've noticed there's some Canon lenses here too. If you follow my YouTube journey, you know that I also use Canon. This video is being recorded with a Canon R5 with a 24 1.4 lens EF. That's something I use also for a lot of my videos. Now, before I started using the X-T5 primarily in the studio, I was using the R5 with the 70-200 2.8. This is the original. This doesn't even have an image stabilizer. This is like the old school version. And this was my go-to headshot lens. And then the 50mm 1.4, which is also the EF, which is also a lens people either love or hate, was my portrait lens in the way I just described. Now, without getting into that whole discussion, because that's a whole nother can of worms, right now I'm primarily using the Fuji gear for a lot of reasons over the Canon gear. I don't really use the R5 for my studio work right now, but I do use it for a lot of my B-roll video, for a lot of video work. I mean, it's an incredible camera for everything, but especially for video. So it's been kind of, if you see a lot of B-roll on my channel, it's probably the R5. Next, let's talk about some of these other gadgets I have here. And I'm going to talk to you about lighting too, but I'll get through the gadgets on the desk. This is an Atomos Ninja V, and this is basically a video monitor and recorder. So what I'll do with this primarily when it comes to my YouTube content is I'll put it on the camera and I'll record the camera screen so that you can see where the focusing point is, where the settings are. So this is very common for YouTubers to use an Atomos Ninja like this when we're demonstrating, say, the focus capability of a camera or a menu system. So if you see clips of a menu, that's what I use the Ninja for. Let me tell you about a couple of items next from one of my favorite companies. This is a company called Fulaim, and they make microphones and microphone accessories. And I really love this company. They were one of the first companies to reach out to me as I was growing my YouTube channel and ask me to review their microphone kit. And I really like this microphone this wireless microphone system they had. So they recently sent me the upgraded version of it, and it's called the X5. This is the best value for your dollar you can get right now when it comes to wireless microphones for a lot of reasons. Number one, it comes in a chargeable case, so the case will charge the mics. It has two transmitters, and it has one receiver. And these transmitters are so cool for a lot of reasons. Number one, you can record right into the microphone's redundant audio. So it'll save a redundant copy of your audio as a backup, which is cool. But here's what I really love about these when it comes to like doing interview videos and stuff like that. It has this little magnetic strip. So if you want to wear the mic, you can put it under your shirt. You just put that little magnet there, and now you don't have to see it. And so you just see a little square instead of seeing a big blocky microphone sticking out, which, you know, never looks so clean and professional. So I love that. And the quality when you do that is awesome. It records really, really nicely. And it comes with all the accessories to this microphone kit. But the best thing it comes with is this, which is a little connector. So this is the transmitter, and it comes with this little connector you can have with a USB-C or with an Apple connector for iPhone, and you can plug your wireless mic directly into your phone. And then if you're doing reels or any kind of video through your cell phone, you can get this awesome high quality audio. So that's awesome. I love that. That's one of my favorite things about this mic system, and the price. It's really inexpensive, and I'm going to link it below because I have an affiliate link from them. So if you use my link, you'll get 10% off. Okay, this is the next product from Fulaim. This they sent me more recently, and I never had a good boom arm for my microphone. It was just like, if you look at my videos before I got this arm, I just had like a tabletop tripod with my Shure microphone on top of it. It was really bad. So they sent me this boom arm, which I love because it's made of aluminum. It's super sturdy, and it has a seat clamp. It just clamps right to your desk. It's got a swivel, and it really is strong. So you can put a heavy microphone on here and angle it however you want. It's very sturdy. It looks beautiful. And they even send these little Velcro strips so you can hide your cable, so you don't have to see the cable. Makes it really neat. So I really love this product, and I'll link this too in the description, the Fulaim Boom Mic Arm. It's made of aluminum, so it's really well made. It's very strong, and it's very stylish, so it goes really nicely with my desk and all my other stuff here. Another great product from this company, so check that out too. Now, for my desktop videos, when I'm not using my Fulaim microphones, I use a Shure MV7. That's what this is. And this is a good mic. I like the quality of the audio, but one thing I hate about this is the buttons. See, the problem with these buttons is it's really easy to press them by accident. They're like a little touch interface, and you can accidentally mute yourself and stuff. So I'm not crazy about the buttons there, but the sound is very good. Okay, next up, I want to talk to you about my desk. This is also something I've gotten recently. It's a standing desk. Look at that. And it goes really high. Now, I'm not a very tall person, but that still is a pretty ridiculously high desk. It goes really, really high. This desk is something that I really needed for a long time, a good desk. And this is made by a company called Flexispot. And the cool thing about this company is their standing desks are the highest quality ones I've ever used. I've used standing desks in the past and regular desks, of course. And these are so sturdy. I mean, it's heavy and it's heavy duty. It's made really well, and you can configure these desks however you want. There's so many options they have. So basically, I custom configured the top I wanted, the legs I wanted, and even I have an attachable boom arm where I can put my extra monitor, and they have tons of options. So it's a really, really cool product. I'm very, very happy with this product, and it's super sturdy. So my old table in some of my old videos, if you just touched it, it would just start wobbling. So it was really bad, and people were commenting on it like, your table is distracting, it keeps wobbling. So now I have a good desk. You can all be happy. And the cool thing about this desk too is I use this not only for my content creation now, but also for my studio work. So what I do is I have my laptop and my larger monitor, I tether, and then my clients can review images with me at a comfortable desk. I can raise and lower it, and it's a great editing desk too. So I do all my editing here too. So there's my desk. Now, you may have noticed when I raised the desk that this came into view. This is a tube light made by Lume, and Lume sent me a tube light mini for review recently, and they just sent me this tube light XL recently that I'm going to be doing some reviews on. So you'll see that. I'll put links to all this below as well. And the tube light, these are awesome. I mean, I love these tube lights for, like you'll see behind me right there on my shelf next to my Starship Enterprise, no bloody A, B, C, or D, is a tube light mini just for like a little background light, because you cannot be a YouTuber without some kind of colored light in the background, okay? Actually, the more you wash the background with RGB light sticks, the better quality your videos are. Anyway, so I have that for a little accent light, and then this I'll use for even for my portrait work. I've used that for portraits. When I did my Viltrox 13mm review, that light was also used for portraits, and it did a great job. So I like these tube light products. They're very cool. Check them out. Next, I want to tell you about the key light I use for my videos. It's a Nanlite FS-300, and I have it in an angular deep parabolic with a grid, 36-inch deep parabolic, and that's the key light for my videos. And I like this because if I just use that alone, I can get a lot of shadow on my video work. It gives nice shadows, and I just kind of place it above and aiming down at me. But then I'll supplement it for like this video. I'm using a Westcott Flex Kit panel as a fill light, just to even out the light for the video. And that's basically what I do when I'm doing my videos. Now, these lights are great because they're both continuous, obviously, so I use them for my video work. But these are the same lights I use for pretty much all of my portrait work. So the Westcott Flex Kit is something that was developed by my mentor, Peter Hurley. And obviously, if you look at my headshot work, I'm influenced by Peter Hurley's work. Peter is my mentor. He taught me everything I know about headshots. So the Flex Kit is what I use, and it is one of the best products you can get on the market for headshots and portraits. I use it even for a lot of the portrait work too. Now, the thing about the Flex Kit is it is very expensive, but the quality of the light and the versatility of the kit is amazing. So I use that for the majority of my headshot work and a lot of my portrait work. And then I also use the Nanlite for a lot of my portrait work too. That's where I'll do color grading. I do a lot more moody lighting, and I'll do a lot of different kinds of angles. And that's going to be anything that's not head and shoulders. So it'll be half length, 3/4, that kind of thing. And I learned my portrait style from Ivan Weiss, who's an amazing portrait photographer out of London. So he's been my mentor and my biggest influence when it comes to my portrait work, and Peter's been my biggest influence for my headshot work. And if you look at my stuff and you know those two photographers, you probably will see that influence there. Before you think I'm flexing on gear, the point of this video is not to flex. I have nothing to flex. I have barely any muscles at all. So it's just to give you guys an inside look on what I use. I thought it'd be interesting, and I think you might find it interesting to see what I use to create my content. Now, you'll notice that there's a lot of other cameras and lenses that I'm using and talking about. And that's because I now have relationships with different companies who send me stuff for review. So as some of you know, I write for F-Stoppers, so I get stuff through them. I am a B&H affiliate, so I get stuff from them to check out. And then I have some direct relationships with different companies like Fujifilm, Tamron, and some other companies that will send me gear to review. So sometimes I'll use that gear to record my video. So for instance, when I reviewed the Tamron 11-20 for the Fuji camera, I used it to record the video as well as, demonstrating the photos and stuff. All right, well, that's basically it. Now, if you're an aspiring YouTuber, don't do it. No, I'm kidding. If you're an aspiring YouTuber, don't look at all this gear. And I think a lot of people, when they try to make a video or try to start YouTubing, they just think, well, I need all this gear. Let me buy everything. Don't do it, because you're going to wind up buying a ton of stuff that you never use, which is what I did early on. I mean, with photography and with YouTubing, you know, buy this modifier, buy this, that, and the other thing, and then you wind up never using them. So use what you have, even if it's just a cell phone. Content is more important than even the lighting. And if you're going to invest in anything, start with audio, because people will be more inclined to tune out if the audio is bad than if you don't have the best lighting. But you don't need a lot of gear. You don't need the most expensive gear. I was a portrait photographer before I even decided to start putting videos on YouTube. And when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't even know why and what I was doing with it. I only started posting videos just to become better at making videos. It wasn't until after a while that I kind of started liking doing that, and then I kind of transitioned into becoming a content creator and a YouTuber. Other thing I want to say before I wrap up is I just recently passed 15,000 subscribers as of the making of this video. And I got to tell you guys, I'm blown away. Like, I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd have over 15,000 subscribers. And so thank you. Thank you so much for supporting what I'm doing here. I really appreciate it. I genuinely love making these videos. I love communicating with all of you. I love the friends that I'm now making through YouTube, that I'm making other photographer friends all over the world. And it's awesome. It's so cool. And at this point, I know it's only the beginning. So I know that I'm going to get to that 100K eventually. That's what my goal is. And until then, I'm going to keep improving and doing better when it comes to my reviews, when it comes to my content. My goal is to keep making videos that entertain you guys, but also that inform you. And when I review a product, I want it to be a great review. So I'm working hard at making sure that every review I release is even better than the last one, more informative, more insightful. And so I appreciate all of you who constantly are commenting and supporting me. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And those of you who comment and don't support me, thanks to you guys too, because even with the nastiest comments, usually I learn something for the next one. So here's wishing you guys an awesome day. Go out and take some great pictures. I will see you in the next one. Peace.